Good morning, gang. Happy Monday morning. First of all, to all my fellow vets, happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service. I greatly appreciate it. Keep this country free. Second, many of you have sent me emails overnight, yesterday evening, this morning, in regards to a video that Needy Homesteader posted in regards to FEMA sending a bunch of trucks up to a decommissioned Air Force base in Michigan. I have looked far and wide. I cannot find any corroborating evidence to it, any stories or anything. I'm not saying her story is not true or anything like that. I'm just saying I don't know anything about it other than what she put in her video. So I'm not going to speculate on what's going on, anything of the sort. It might be a huge story. It might be absolutely nothing. I don't know. But I'm not going to second guess her, and I'm not going to speculate on what it is. So if I find more information, if I hear something, I will certainly let you know, but I have not seen nor heard anything other than what she reported. So take that. Okay. Thank you for alerting me to it, because I had not seen the information. Now I have, but I can neither confirm nor deny. I don't know. So that was what that was. We had some interesting news come out overnight, which was good. We all know we have a massive immigration problem, illegal immigration problem in this country. It was in all the exit polls last Tuesday, the number 2 reason why people voted for Donald Trump. Economy, of course, was number 1. That shouldn't surprise anybody. But we've heard all the stories from Trump's administration that he's going to do a mass deportation on day 1, started. We've heard the liberal media bitch and complain, saying, oh, it's going to be so expensive to do that. We can't afford it. Right. Okay. We can afford to fly them all in here. We can afford to feed them, house them, clothe them, give them phones, cash, yada, 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 but we can't afford to send them back. Is that what you're trying to tell me? That's your logic? You know, all this money that we sent to Ukraine, we couldn't use that instead? No, we can get rid of them. Okay. Interesting things have been playing out lately. First off, the best news yesterday. Last night, Donald Trump announced that Tom Homan is going to be Trump's Border Czar.
So the recommendation, of the many that you recommended family separation.
I recommended zero tolerance.
Which includes family separation.
The same as is with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested when they're with a child.
Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their
If
parents.
I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father
Mr.
from his
Homan,
family.
with all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're into the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum, you go through the port of entry, do it the legal way. The Attorney General of the United States has made that clear.
Okay.
This is a good thing. This is a very good thing. Tom Homan basically obliterated AOC in a hearing last time around. And Tom Homan is completely on board with Donald Trump's ideas to get rid of the illegals, send them home. You may have heard last week there was another migrant caravan that was heading to the United States. Yeah. Trump got elected. Guess what happened? The migrant caravan turned around. They're like, we ain't going. Doesn't make sense. We're going to get kicked out as soon as we get there anyway. Okay. So that was a good thing. There was a story up in New York overnight where the hotels that are housing the migrants are kicking them out. Why? Because they know they're not going to get paid by the federal government for housing these people anymore. And so We got to open up as a hotel again for tourists and visitors. Yeah, there you go. They're still businesses. They need to make money. The hotels are like, we normally charge $150 a night. The government's going to pay us $400. Sure, we'll take that business. That business is gone. So that's done. The funniest one, though, was Canada. Canada is all worried all of a sudden about, they're on a high alert, Canadian officials, okay, for migrants fleeing the U.S. after Trump won. Now, I'm not saying these are Barbara Streisand and Cher and Joy Behar and Tom Hanks who they're worried about fleeing up into Canada. No, they're worried about the Haitians, the Guatemalans, the Salvadorans, the Chinese, the Mexicans, all going to Canada because they're going to get kicked out of the U.S. and they don't want to go back home. This is interesting. For 4 years, Trudeau and the rest of the Canadian Parliament has been screaming and yelling at Republicans, at conservatives in the United States about how inhumane it is that we won't take all these immigrants, that we won't take all these illegals. And now all of a sudden, when they're faced with the realization that the influx of illegals is now going to them, oh my God, what are we going to do? We need to keep them out. Funny how that works, ain't it? It's the old NIMBY principle, not in my backyard, right? Illegal immigration is great until you come here. Right, Martha's Vineyard? You know, you were all over that, all the liberals there in Massachusetts. Oh yeah, you know, we need to bring all these people in. Great, here's a busload for you. Nope, we got to get them out 24 hours and they're gone, right? This is what it is. We're seeing massive changes already. We're seeing good news coming out of the future Trump administration as he starts laying out who his sphere of influence is going to be. That Mike Pompeo is not going to be in it, that Nikki Haley's not going to be in it, that Tom Homan is going to be in it. These are good things. We still have the issue of the Senate Majority Leader, and again, I'm going to reference another YouTuber, Benny Johnson, who obviously is a large YouTuber, saying that right now it looks like John Thune has got the most support in the Senate. I'm going to reiterate, you need to contact your senators. We need to flood them and tell them basically, no, we do not want Thune, we do not want Cornyn. Both of them are never Trumpers. If you look at their voting record, both of them side with the Democrats significantly more, like 25 to 30% of the time. Rick Scott votes conservative about 95% of the time. We gave Trump a mandate. We elected Congress on his coattails, both the Senate and the House. Looks like right now the Republicans are one seat away from taking the House as we flipped a Colorado seat yesterday. That was called. We need to let our senators know, no, we do not want Thune. No, we do not want Cornyn. For South Dakota, for Texas, I hope when these two guys are up for re-election, you toss them out. Unfortunately, we didn't toss out Mike Johnson, who's also a rhino. It's time that the Conservative Party become conservative again, and the elected officials we have remember that they work for us, not the other way around. We tell them what to do, not them telling us what to do. And if they don't like what we want to do, they can happily step aside so somebody can be put in that position, Senate, Congressman, whatever, that will do the will of the people. A huge victory for MAGA was achieved a week ago. We're not going back to the policies of George Bush or Mitch McConnell or Paul Ryan or anything, Mitt Romney, John McCain. No, that Republican Party's dead. It's time we take our country back. We got loud last Tuesday and changed the executive branch. Now we need to get loud and make our voices heard in the legislative branch. Here's the problem. If Thune or Cornyn gets anointed as majority leader, you can pretty much bet a lot of what Trump wants to do is going to stop dead in its tracks, because the majority leader gets to pick what comes to the floor for debate, what comes to the floor for a vote. And if we have somebody who doesn't like Trump, doesn't agree with Trump's policies, deciding on whether or not we can make a law to do it, Trump gets nothing done. Pinball out.